this service. Today is the first day of September 2019, and that makes it a Thanksgiving service for us in this church, Victorious Healing Mountain Ministry. The topic for today is the blessing of covenant. The blessing of covenant. Text, Genesis chapter 6, verse 9 to 18. We are going to read from Genesis chapter 6, from verse 9 to 18. Blessings of covenant. I want to show you in the Bible, the Word of God, the blessing that is in covenant. Covenant blessings. Genesis chapter 6, verse 9 to 18. Quickly, are you there? Genesis chapter 6, from verse 9 to 18. And I read, These are the generation of Noah. Noah was a just man and perfect in his generations. And Noah walked with God. And Noah begat 3 sons, Shem, Ham, and Japheth. The earth also was corrupt before God, and the earth was filled with violence. 12. And God looked upon the earth, and behold, it was corrupt. For all flesh has corrupted his way upon the earth. And God said unto Noah, The end of all flesh is come before me, for the earth is filled with violence through them, and behold, I will destroy them with the earth. 14. Make thee an ark of gopher, rooms shall thou make in the ark, and shall pitch it within and without with pinch. 15. And this is the fashion which thou shalt make it of. The length of the ark shall be 300 cubits, the breadth of it 50 cubits, and the height of it 30 cubits. And the window shalt thou make to the ark, and in the cubit shalt thou fashion it above. And the door of the ark shalt thou set in the side thereof, with lower, second, and third stories shalt thou make it. 17. And behold, I, even I, do bring a flood of waters upon the earth, to destroy all the flesh, wherein is the breath of life, from under heaven, and everything that is in the earth shall die. 18. But with thee will I establish my covenant, and thou shalt come into the ark, thou and thy sons, and thy wife, and thy sons' wife with thee. 19. And of every living thing of all flesh, 2 of every sort shalt thou bring into the ark, to keep them alive with thee. They shall be male and female. Praise the Lord. Praise the Lord. Here we see in verse 18, God said, But with thee will I establish my covenant, and thou shalt come into the ark, thou and thy sons, and thy wife, and thy sons' wife with thee. God entered into a covenant with Noah to make an ark. He told him the sizes, how he's going to do the ark. And Noah agreed with God and went forth and constructed the ark the way God instructed him. Not the way he chose, not the way he liked. He said, Come as an agreement. Go and make an ark for me. Do it in this way. And Noah went and did exactly what God said. He obeyed his own part of the covenant. And God said he will bring a flood to destroy the whole world. The day God brought flood, he told Noah, enter the ark. Noah obeyed God and entered the ark. And at the end of the day, the whole world perished. Noah and his family were saved. That's the blessing of covenant. If God had come to Noah and asked Noah to make an ark, and Noah said, I'm not interested, I don't agree with you, you can't destroy the world, Noah will continue to live, and when the flood comes, all of them will perish. But because he accepted the covenant of God, he agreed with God and walked with God, he was saved, his family was saved, and he became a blessing. Praise the Lord. So that blessing that you derive when you enter covenant with God. Praise the Lord. Now, what is a covenant? A covenant is an agreement, contract, or a written promise between 2 individuals that frequently constitute a pledge to do or refrain from doing something. An agreement between 2 parties Each party has what you have to do or not to do. And when you do that thing, you get the other person will respond with his own. If you fail to do that thing, that person will respond with his own. You see, it's an agreement between two parties, just like we saw in the book of Genesis chapter 6 about Noah. God told Noah what he want to do. He want to destroy the earth. He asked him, go and make an ark. And Noah went and made an ark and obeyed God. And when the flood came, he was saved. Praise the Lord. God has what to do, Noah has what to do in the agreement. Praise the Lord. Now, I want to show you the blessing of covenant using these three men as an example. I want to buttress, I want to show you clearly depict the blessing of covenant using these three men as an example. Praise the Lord. Praise the Lord. These three men, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. These three men. I want to show you the blessing of covenant using them as an illustration. Let's see Genesis chapter 12, verse 1 to 3. About Abraham. Genesis chapter 12, verse 1 to 3. Quickly, are you there? Genesis chapter 12, from verse 1 to 3. I read. Now the Lord said unto Abraham, get thee out of thy country, and from thy kindred, and from thy father's house, unto a land that I will show thee. And I will make of thee a great nation, and I will bless thee, and make thy name great, and thou shalt be a blessing. 3. And I will bless them that bless thee, and curse him that curse thee. And in thee shall all families on earth be blessed. This is a covenant that God entered with Abraham. He told him to come out from his father's house, from his people, and go to another town to go and live. And if you obey him in it, he will make him a great nation. He will bless him. Abraham believed God, and Abraham went. He left his people and moved to a new place that God asked him to go. Now let us look at if God kept his own part of the covenant. Genesis 24. Let somebody turn to Genesis 24. Genesis 24. Genesis 24, verse 34 to 36. Genesis 24, verse 34 to 36. And I read. And he said, I am Abraham's servant. 35. And the Lord hath blessed my master greatly, and he is become great, and he hath given him flocks, and herds, and silver, and gold, and men servants, and maid servants, and camel, and ashes. And Sarah, my master's wife, bare him a son to my master, when she was old, and unto him had he given all that he had. Praise the Lord. Praise the Lord. Amen. This is the servant of Abraham, testifying of Abraham's greatness. He said that God has blessed his master greatly, not just ordinarily. He has blessed him greatly, and he is become great. And he has given him flocks and herds and silver and gold and men servants and maid servants. God blessed Abraham everywhere. And even his wife that was barren, as at the time God came into that covenant, God gave him a son through that woman. The barrenness was broken, and he was blessed with a son. Praise the Lord. That is how God works. If you enter his covenant, even things that are dead in your life will come alive. Praise the Lord. That's the blessing of covenant. Let's see Isaac in Genesis 26. Genesis 26 from verse 1 to 6. Isaac covenant with God. Genesis 26 from verse 1 to 6. Genesis 26. And there was a farmer in the land beside the first famine that was in the days of Abraham. And Isaac went unto Abimelech, king of the Philistines, unto Gerar. And the Lord appeared unto him and said, Go not down into Egypt, dwell in the land which I shall tell thee of. So join in this land, and I will be with thee, and will bless thee. For unto thee and unto thy seed I will give all these countries, and I will perform the oath which I swear unto Abraham thy father. Verse 4. And I will make thy seed to multiply as the stars of heaven, and I will give unto thy seed all these countries, and in thy seed shall all the nations of the earth be blessed. 5. Because Abraham obeyed my voice, and kept my charge, my commandments, my statutes, and my laws. 6. And Isaac dwelt in Gerar. 7. And the men of the place asked him of his wife, and he said, because Abraham obeyed my voice and kept my commandment and my charge. Okay, verse 6. And Isaac dwelt in Gerar. Verse 7. And he was stopping at verse 6. Genesis chapter 26, verse 1 to 6. And Isaac dwelt in Gerar, where God asked him to dwell. He dwelt there. He obeyed God. He kept the part of the covenant. God said, don't go down to Egypt, dwell in Gerar. And Abraham obeyed God and dwelt in Gerar. Praise the Lord. Praise the Lord. Now, let's see if God kept his own part of the covenant. Genesis 26, verse 12 to 16. Then Isaac sowed in that land, and received in the same year an hundredfold, and the Lord blessed him. 13. And the man waxed great, and went forward, and grew until he became very great. 14. For he had possession of flocks, and possession of herds, and great store of servants, and the Philistines envied him. For all the wells which his father's servants had digged in the days of Abraham, his father, the Philistines had stopped them and filled with the earth. And Abimelech said to Isaac, Go from us, for thou art much mightier than we. The king of the place asked him to leave because he's much mightier than them. This is the blessing of God. When God bless you, you become mightier than your enemies. Praise the Lord. God will make you mightier than your enemies in the name of Jesus. That is the blessing of covenant. Isaac agreed with God. God told him, others are going to Egypt, the happening place. Everybody is going to Egypt. And people are traveling to other countries of the world today to go where they think is better. But God said, don't travel. Don't go down to that place. That place that is happening. It's a popular place in the world. Don't go there. Remain here. So in this land I will bless you. He obeyed God. He agreed with God. He walked with God in a covenant, in agreement. And God blessed him. His enemies, the Philistines envied him. And they said, go away from us. We are mightier than us. God will make you mightier than enemies in the name of Jesus. Then Jacob, Genesis 28, verse 20 to 22. Let us see God's covenant in the life of Jacob. Genesis 28. Genesis 28. Genesis 28, we read from verse 20 to 22. Genesis 28, from verse 20 to 22. And Jacob vowed a vow, saying, if God will be with me, and will keep me in this way that I go, and will give me bread to eat, and remnant to put on, so that I come again in my father's house in peace, then shall the Lord be my God. And this stone which I have set for a pillar shall be God's house. And of all that thou shalt give me, I will surely give the tenth unto thee. Praise the Lord. This is the covenant that Jacob entered with God. Praise the Lord. It's an agreement he entered with God. If, as I'm running away from my father's house, empty-handed, no spare clothing, no spare food, no spare water, just running away for his life. If God will go with me in this strange land I'm going, and he will provide for me. He said that when I return to my father's house in peace, God will be my God. Praise the Lord. Praise the Lord. Let us see the reward of that covenant. Genesis 35, from verse 1 to 13. Genesis 35. Let's see if God kept his own part and if Jacob kept his own part of that covenant. Genesis 35, verse 1 to 13. The blessings of covenant. That's the topic. The blessings of covenant. Genesis 35, from verse 1 to 13. Okay. And God said unto Jacob, Arise, go out to Bethel, and dwell there, and make there an altar unto God, that appeared unto thee when thou fleddest from the face of Esau thy brother. 2. Then Jacob said unto his household, and to all that were with him, Put away the strange gods that are among you, and be clean, and change your garments. 12. Ask me, 3. And let us arise and go up to Bethel, and I will make there an altar unto God, who answered me in the day of my distress, and was with me in the day which I went. 4. And they gave unto Jacob all the strange gods which were in their hand, and all their earrings which were in their ears, and Jacob hid them under the oak which was by Shechem. 5. And they journeyed, and the terror of God was upon the cities that were round about them, and they did not pursue after the sons of Jacob. 6. So Jacob came to Luz, which is in the land of Canaan, that is Bethel, he and all the people that were with him. 7. And he built there an altar, and called the place El Bethel, because there God appeared unto him when he fled from the face of his brother. 8. But Deborah, Rebekah's nurse, died, and she was buried beneath Bethel. Verse 9. And God appeared unto Jacob again, when he came out of Padan Aram, and blessed him. 10. And God said unto him, Thy name is Jacob. Thy name shall not be called any more Jacob, but Israel shall be thy name. And he called his name Israel. 11. And God said unto him, I am God Almighty. Be fruitful and multiply. A nation and a great company of nations shall be of thee, and kings shall come out of thy loins. 12. And the land which I gave Abraham and Isaac, to thee I will give it, and to thy seed after thee will I give the land. 13. And God went off from him in the place where he talked with him. Praise the Lord. Praise the Lord. Amen. Now, what happened here? Jacob made a covenant with God. If God will be with him and provide for him. And he went, and God went with him. God provided for him. Laban, his uncle, wanted to use him as a slave forever. Because through witchcraft, Laban found out that God was blessing his house because of the presence of Jacob. So he wanted to make him a virtual slave, but God intervened and converted Laban's resources to become Jacob's own. And Jacob came out with 2 wives, 12 sons, and daughters, and great wealth. Praise the Lord. And when he came out and settled in Padan Aram, God said, now go and build me a house. You remember he put a stone and anointed and said, this is house of God. He now went and built a house, an altar for God. And after he built an altar of God, so that God now met him. Again, when he had come out of them around and blessed him, after Jacob now did what he promised God. You see, Jacob told God, if you go with me and bless me, I will build a house altar for you. When Jacob went, God was with him in the house of Laban, and God provided for him. When he came back, God now said, okay, now I've done my own part. I've provided for you. Now go and do your own part. You promised. Go and build an altar for me. And Jacob organized his family, household, removed every other god from his household, and took his household